Hello everyone, my name is Javon Smith. Welcome everybody to the January issue of the Occasional Hatch. This month we have a class of 2020 alumni. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Liorys. I'm from the class of 2020, born and raised here in Providence, Rhode Island, and I attended URI after graduating here.
You are studying to become a physician assistant. What is the career? Can you explain it?
A physician assistant, which is soon to be called a physician associate, is licensed clinicians who practice in medicine in different specialties. So there's not much difference between a physician assistant and a doctor because they both diagnose, treat, and care for their patients and prescribe medications.
So Liorys, what led you to want to be in the medical field?
So growing up, I always knew I wanted to work with kids. So my mom is a home daycare owner. She's been a home daycare owner since I was in the 6th grade. I also grew up in a very big family and I'm an older sister. So I always knew I wanted to work with kids, but it wasn't until March of 2018, the year my dad passed away, that I knew I wanted to enter the medical field. I was visiting him a lot in the hospital. I was there a lot most of the time since he got in, and just seeing the way he was treated and cared for at the hospital is what influenced my decision to enter the medical field. So I knew I wanted to work with kids, and I knew I wanted to be in the medical field after that. So it wasn't until my senior year that I decided I wanted to be a pediatric PA.
Can you talk about your college experience? Like, what did you study as your undergrad major? How involved were you on campus? Things like that.
So I was very involved. I attended the University of Rhode Island from 2020 to 2023, and I was a Human Development Family Science major, also short for HDF. It was a part of the College of Health Sciences, and I was also a TD student, also short for Talent Development Program, and I was very involved from when I started up until I finished. I was accepted to URI through the Talent Development Program, which is also short for TD. So the TD program basically recruits and serves Rhode Island high school graduates who come from disadvantaged backgrounds, and most of them who are students of color. So during my time at URI, I was basically supported through intensive academic advising. I was connected to many resources on and off campus, and they instilled a lot of confidence in me and showed me that it's okay to go through this for the first time because I'm also a first generation student. So basically without TD, I wouldn't be the person I am today. They modeled and shaped me to who I am, and they are the reason I went to URI. So my first year at URI, I applied to be a resident assistant. I joined the pre-PA club, and I also worked on campus. So to get into resident assistance, you have to live on campus for the first year, which is why I applied my first year. I couldn't be a resident assistant until I lived on campus fully for a year. So I was accepted and offered the role for my sophomore year, and I was an RA for my last 2 years at URI after that. So I was at URI for 3 years in total. So I was an RA my sophomore year and my junior year, technically my senior year because I finished early. But basically, a resident assistant is a job on campus that involves living in the residence hall and implementing the resident hall rules and regulations. And I also planned events for the students to get them together, get to know one another, build community, network, make friendships, etc. So I did that, and I also had nights that I was on call where I would have to have a phone. If they call and they were locked out, I have to assist that. But that was pretty much it. So I also joined the pre-PA club, which involved events and information sessions relating to the PA profession, which I enjoyed very much as I want to be a PA in the future. So I got to learn more about the profession. I got to do tours, and I got to be involved in a lot of events that involved meeting new people. So I was able to meet new people, make new friendships, study groups, etc. So I connected a lot by doing that. Second year, I joined a multicultural organization called PINK and became an orientation leader. So PINK, which stands for Powerful, Independent, Notoriously Knowledgeable Woman, is an organization on campus, and this was really such a great way to just bond and meet new people, especially those of color, because it was such a diverse group of women there. So I made a lot of friendships, made a lot of bonds, which go way beyond college. Like, I still talk to those girls to this day, and it was just a great way to be involved, meet new people, and do new things. During my second year, I found out about the orientation leader position, and basically as an orientation leader, you have a huge responsibility because all these incoming students are basically you're basically their first presentation of URI for them. So you have that opportunity to show what URI was to you and how it could be great for them. As an OL, we help incoming students adjust to the URI campus and community through many things such as academic advising services, programs that address diversity and inclusion, involvement on campus, common first-year experiences, and basically possible conflicts. So that was my whole role as the orientation leader, plus we stayed there for the whole summer. We also had all the trainings beforehand, so it was a big role and it was a fun thing to do. Definitely recommend that. And then for my third and last year, I was president of the pre-PA club. I became an SRA, which is a senior resident assistant. So during my last year at URI, I had the opportunity to become the president of the PA club, and this brought many responsibilities because I went from organizing and planning meetings to setting up tours for PA schools, working with my team, delegating tasks. So it was a huge responsibility, and it also was an eye-opener for me to learn how to time manage and how to break everything apart and delegate tasks, because I'm a type of person that likes to take everything on and not delegate tasks. So I had to learn how to delegate that year. But it was something I really enjoyed because I love talking about the PA profession and I love talking about what my future will consist of. And also my second year applying to be an RA, I was offered the role to be an SRA, which is a senior resident assistant, and it's also the same thing I did as an RA with more responsibility. So this was a bigger role in ways that I was the person at hand for new RAs and returning RAs on my team. So they would come to me for any conflicts or questions that they had, concerns. And I still had the job to plan events, still had the same job of being on call and answering the phone for students that got locked out, etc. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
How did you manage all of this?
So I'm very big on time management. I wouldn't have been able to do anything if I didn't time manage. My last year, a part of being an SRA, being the president of the PA club, being in pink, and whatever else I did. I think I had 2 other jobs. I also had to do my internship because as a part of my major, it's the HGF major, you have an internship you have to complete, which is off campus, and it's basically correlated with your class where you have to do assignments based on the internship. So I had 2 jobs. I also did my internship and was involved in all of this, and I honestly just time managed. When I had the time to get ahead, I got ahead. I never saved anything for last minute because when I had the extra time, I would just bust it all out, bust out all my work. I would plan things. I'm very organized. I literally use an agenda for everything. Without an agenda, I do not live. Without a calendar, I cannot live. So, and I actually never got into agendas until I started here at TIMES2 in 6th grade. In 6th grade, they were implementing agendas and how to stay organized as a middle schooler. And I never got that type of attention or type of thing handed to me, especially at that age, because before I came to TIMES2, I was at another middle school and they did not have that. So when I got here, they're the ones that really implemented organization and time management on me, because without them, I probably would have never started using an agenda. So that's a really fun fact. I started my agenda and organization, time management, everything as a 6th grader, and that just really built up until college, and that's how I am and that's how I work to this day.
How did your high school experience influence your choice of careers? Like, did you ever want to be something other than the path you've chosen now?
Not necessarily. I always knew I wanted to work with kids, but it wasn't until my junior year, sophomore year of high school that I knew I wanted to enter the medical field and be a pediatric PA. But my high school experience definitely influenced my choices greatly because TIMES2 pushes you to your limits, and that just always pushed me to go for more in life and go for more in college. So if I say I want to reach the sky, TIMES2 said no, you can reach the stars. And that's honestly what motivated me. So the confidence that the teachers had here at TIMES2 for me always encouraged me and motivated me to go for more in life. And it taught me to never settle and reach for the stars. So I'm capable of that and more. And I always knew I wanted to work with the kiddos. And it wasn't until sophomore, junior year that I wanted to be a pediatric PA. I was stuck between pediatrician and pediatric PA, but I ended up picking PA.
What do you imagine your life will consist of 10 years from now?
So 10 years from now, I'm hoping I'll officially be a pediatric PA. I'm also hoping, a goal of mine that I'd never really thought about, but it's just in the back of my head, is to open my own practice in the future. So maybe if I manifest that and go into it, I could open up my own practice soon in the future. It's a goal of mine to just be my own boss and have something with my own name to it. So definitely look into that in the future. And I also hope I travel a lot, have my own family, and just continue growing as a person and trying new things.
What would you name your practice if you did start one in the future?
So I've been juggling between the names. I knew I always want to name my practice after my dad. Definitely would be something in the lines of the Vargas practice or the LV practice. Something to keep his legacy on and continue, because he's always with me and he's guided me to be the person I am today.
Well, thank you for coming today, Liorys. We wish you the best on your endeavors.
Thank you. Oh. Oh, okay. Thank you all, and remember, can't be a quitter.